Before the internet, my father was way before his time, teaching education-based marketing as a precursor to content marketing. Creating your stadium pitch title was revolutionary at that time. Today, content is everywhere, and anyone can do it. The never-ending noise of the clutter factor is nearly impossible to break through. There are 7.8 billion people in the world right now, and yet every 24 hours we produce half the human population in pieces of content on Facebook alone. 4.75 billion items shared. That's not counting the 500 million stories on Instagram, the 203 million hours streamed on Netflix every single day. Unfortunately, less than 50% of digital content is useful. And even worse, now when your prospect sees bad content, it actually decreases the probability of the sale by 40%. So with the rise of content, we've lost track of the purpose and the framework for how to generate sales from that content. Now, this is an interesting one to just pull out of context from the book because so many of my clients say, why would I use social media? I'm not interested in it. I don't know what to put there. My clients aren't there. But based on the numbers, it's very rare that your clientele will not be there. And if so, if they're not there right now, they will be there in the next few years as Gen Xers and millennials start coming into play, as baby boomers start to transition. But I will tell you, I recently had a client. It was a $26 billion health insurance fund. And the way that we started working together was I had a Facebook ad that was coming up that was talking about an offer that we had. And he had commented on one of our Facebook ads. And then I followed up writing him a message in Facebook Messenger, just saying, oh, hey, I saw that you commented on this. Tell me about blah, 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 blah. We started a dialogue, and I found out that he was a raving fan of my father's work, of Ultimate Sales Machine, and now he was running this $1 billion health insurance fund. So we got to talking, and then I said, let's set up a call. Let's have a discussion. That went great. It led into the first step of us engaging together, and then after that, I heard silence from him for months. I had his cell phone number, I had his secretary, I had his email, and none of those things did he respond back to me on. But when I would message him on Facebook Messenger, he would reply. Why? Because there was nobody else there talking to him. He had about 500 friends, and he would post every so often there, but there wasn't really anything that he was building or enterprising. So it was always on Facebook Messenger where I would go for that follow-up to get him to communicate. It's shocking how many different ways you can use social today in your sales process for follow-up, for grabbing their attention, for building rapport, for understanding your prospect, what's keeping them up at night. It could be, I had a client that they weren't a client yet and we were following up with them, and one of my staff was like, I don't know why, they've ghosted me for the last 2 weeks. And I said, I know why. I follow that person on Instagram, and they've been partying like nobody's business. They've been in New Orleans last weekend partying. Then this week they're in Yosemite partying, and they didn't have that intel in their life because they weren't following them on social. So regardless of whether it is a professional relationship or a personal relationship, people are sharing about their lives on social media. And when you think about marketing and selling to them, it is like gold to know what's going on in their world, to be able to establish a relationship that doesn't feel salesy. Because if you're following up just talking about, oh, it's so nice to see that picture of your family. Oh, it's so nice to see that you're doing well in that aspect of your life. Or, oh, how interesting. Let me give you something of value. There's so many different ways amidst that 500 million posts or 4.75 billion Facebook posts that you can grab absolutely crucial information about them and then be able to provide value that creates relationships that last forever. So something to think about. And in the new edition, I will break down a full framework on how you should craft your content when you're posting online, but I won't give you that until you get the new edition. Until the next one. And there you have it, your special nugget for today. Get your copy or multiple copies at ultimatesalesmachine.com. 80 pages of new material to help you double your sales in the next 12 months. That's ultimatesalesmachine.com.